Good morning, and welcome to a horrible episode of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your angered and indignant host, the Voice of Doom. Take it away. Thanks, Mr. Announcer. Pretty angry today. It's the 16th of August. Which probably will go down in infamy as a date that I'll remember. Wearing black today to commemorate and to pay my final respects to American superiority, military superiority. It's dead. And along with that passing, we saw the passing of American integrity and the passing of any plans we may have had to deal with terrorism and a lot of the turmoil that's gone on in the world. Major fiasco. And it's a bittersweet moment because the bitter part is that there's going to be recriminations and there's going to be retribution, and it's going to be ugly, and it will be televised. So it's going to be a little bit different than the past. Sweet because finally maybe the roosters are coming home, because there's no way they're going to pass this off. And it's almost like the poetic justice is almost too much to take. Here's a guy that went to England, to the beach, and knuckled, or whatever the hell people do, high-fiving each other in the beach with the Super 8 or the whatever they are, the High 7, the High Mucky Mucks, the NATO leaders, whatever, Boris and Angela and all of them. We're so glad to have you back in the club. We were so distressed with that person who was actually making us do stuff, and now we have a friend. Now we're all together and we can just act together and do our agenda together and have fun together and have dinner together and go to the beach together. Well, it didn't take long, did it, before suddenly things are really, really, really bad. And when I thought it was going to be bad, like 3 or 4 days ago, I really had no idea that it was going to get this bad so fast. And it's really going to get bad, and it's going to get worse. And everybody's saying, this is the Saigon moment. No, it's not. And I have the proof right here in my hand. First of all, see this paper? Ceasefire in effect. Nixon, while he was busy trying to keep his butt out of prison, established a peace treaty with these 3-4 groups: Viet Cong, North Vietnamese, South Vietnamese, and Americans. Always got to have the Americans in there, because we're a big part of their world. Date on that, I believe, is January of 73. That was when they started to send the POWs back home, and it was over, and we had a ceasefire and a peace treaty, which isn't really winning, but it's a peace treaty. Here we are. You've seen this before. It's over. April 75. So we're talking 2 years and 3 months later that the North Vietnamese finally decided the coast was clear and let's go through and take the country now, which they did very quickly and effectively, and we did nothing about it, and we were humiliated over that. Now just think about the fact that we're rushing people out of the embassy right this minute and rushing people out of the airport right this minute, trying to get as many people out as quickly as possible, while the damn Taliban, who we were supposed to get rid of in the first place, are sitting in the presidential palace and practically sitting in the embassy and just like, sitting there with their legs on the desk, kicking back with their AK whatevers they have on their laps and watching as Americans scurry around to get the hell out of there. Probably sweating up a storm, too, thinking that they could be turned on any time. At any moment, there could be a change of heart where we're not going to let you go so easy because we're going to punish you. And their mode of thinking and their perception is different from ours. And they may have a righteous reason to want revenge from their perspective. I mean, you got to look at it from, don't empathize with them because they're horrible. And it's going to be a horrible society, but at least know their perception is different. They think they're right. They see a rotten society from their perspective and go, let's go back to where there was more control. I mean, it doesn't take a genius. But I'm pretty angry. I'm not going to let it out that bad because I'll start screaming, because it's not just, I mean, America's humiliation I can live with. But there's a lot of people in Afghanistan that helped us. So not only are the NATO idiots, and they have to still put on a good face about it, and even though they are probably absolutely livid and absolutely seeing all their political careers go down the tubes this week because they allied themselves with a petri dish run by people who don't know what they're doing. The petri dish is contaminated because the people that are taking care of the petri dish left the lid open. So we got a big mess. It's a betrayal to these people, and it's a literal betrayal. It's like sending them to the frickin' gallows. It's like sending the allies that were helping us to try to create a modern society in that country. Could have been a great tourist place, and probably will be one day. But for now, it's going to be a killing field, and it will be televised, and people are going to be aghast. But we're going to be so busy with our own problems, because our own problems don't stop just because we fucked up over there. We're going to fuck up over here too, and we're going to fuck up somewhere else, because that's just the nature. America has great ideals as a country, the great ideals of freedom and integrity and character and helping and freedom of speech, which I find out is not as free as I thought, because I'm happy to say, as a parenthetical aside, one of my videos was banned, and I'm happy about it, and I consider it an Academy Award of YouTube videos, which never would be on YouTube. And I said stuff that was actually really innocuous that I've heard all over the place. But I was told, no, you cannot say that on our thing because you are encouraging people to do something that may be unsafe. And I'm going to go along with it because I understand now. And I'm glad that they banned it, because it made it very clear what I can and can't say, because I said I'm going to appeal this, even though I wasn't. Because I can do this I could re-say the same exact thing, and it would make it through, because the algorithm wouldn't be caught. I mean, they think we're stupid. But I was really proud that got banned. It's over in 75, 2 years and 3 months after the peace treaty was signed. We signed it in good faith. We wanted out of the war, and they wanted us out of the war, and so everything was signed in good faith, and maybe they thought, yeah, eventually. I mean, they said they wanted to be in Vietnam, so the dominoes didn't fall to communism, and I think it was more than that. I don't think they give a crap about communism. I think they like those substances under the ground and in the sea where you can put derricks and take that stuff and ship it somewhere else. So that's just what I got from a few people on the inside when the war was over. Just, take it for what it's worth. I met a lot of people. You live in Hawaii in the mid-70s, and you meet a lot of interesting people, because it's a crossroads of America. crossroads of the world, and it is. So, humiliation, defeat, and don't say anything like we got anything done. We left the place in a worse shape than it was when we went in, and we should have done it completely differently at the outset. First of all, and going backwards, let me say first before it goes out of my mind, 1975 of April, when that was going on, the Khmer Rouge overran Phnom Penh in Cambodia. And that gave the Pathet Lao in Laos, total opportunity to take over. And then Vietnam goes to war with Cambodia because Cambodia is getting out of hand, and they're thinking we don't want their brand of communism in our country because that's too much. They're going to kill millions of people. So you see the effect. Now let's just multiply it by about 1,000 for this situation because it's much worse. And the weaponry is worse, and the tactics are worse, and there's no war rules, there's no Geneva Convention. So I got off that track, I'll get on another track. Those buildings should have been the final gauntlet that would be like, now we're going to solve everything in the Middle East in one fell swoop. And we're going to go to them, each one of the leaders of each country, including Iran, every single one of them, and say, look, you either follow this dictate of how we're going to rearrange or figure out how to get peace here, or we're going to kill you. I mean, you're making them offer they can't refuse, and it's like, well, you can't kill. Yeah, you can. Yeah, we will kill you. We'll kill you from space. We'll kill you any number of ways. I mean, that's just, you got to get tough. Bombing people doesn't help. I mean, people will take it. And it's just the common herd that are being bombed. No, the Bush should have gone straight and said, we're going to have, whether it's in secret or whether it's not, or whether you have to bring her, or whether you have to kidnap the damn frickin' presidents. The CIA can kidnap the frickin' people and blindfold them and fly them to some secret base in, Nebraska underground and really scare the living crap out of them and say, we're going to end this now. We can put up with your little skirmishes, but you blow up buildings like that and they fall down in the middle of a city. No, it's over. Forget your little fights. I mean, really forget them. Now, we're going to sit down and figure out how we're going to solve all this right now, or you're not getting out of here alive because we're not going to pussyfoot around no more. That's what I would do if I was president. But I'd be impeached and it would be worth it because there'd be peace. Because you just can't have buildings fall down and then attack the poorest country in the world. It's almost like a joke that they even did that. Let's attack the poorest country in the world over the center of our economic, motor engine is destroyed by them, supposedly. Not by them, but proxies, whatever. Everybody knows that there's all kinds of proxies. And there's going to be alliances now, and there are going to be different kinds of alliances. I think that China, and they say, oh, China's going to make the same mistake we did. They're not going to attack Afghanistan. They're going to frickin' help them. They're going to make them rich. You guys are delusional. It's really a bad day for America, really a bad day. Horrible. And as they televise the carnage, the carnage of women and children, and the women are already putting on the sheets all over their face because they are afraid to show their face. They're terrified. And there's a thing in the airport today on the news, and you get it faster if you watch like Lion or Gravitas or something because they're much quicker, or Al Jazeera. Say what you want, but it's faster. They get stuff faster. They get the live. So, yeah, running on the tarmacs, thousands of people panicking. So I'm seeing the killing fields, I'm seeing the Khmer Rouge, and I'm seeing it in Technicolor. So that's it, 15 minutes, and I think I got it out. I'm pretty angry. I mean, it's a bad day for America, and it may be a commemorative holiday down the line as the worst day of American history. So, on that happy note, have a good day. Enjoy. I'll see you next time. I'm sure I'll be more angry.